you are, you know, a wonderfully successful company that feels that it has to give back to its local community, which is even better.
Two sentences about Meech. We are an international company. We manufacture products for a wide spectrum of industries, from aerospace, automotive, food, pharmaceuticals, medical, and develop very, very specialist products. And I have to say, we won 3 Queen's Awards for exports. The point about CSR in general for companies is enlightened self-interest. In reality, that's one way of looking at it. I could just hold myself up as being an incredibly generous type of person, but you know, it is driven. Corporate CSR is driven by enlightened self-interest. You know, if you live in a community and you have a good name as a company, as you support local activities, your people are going to want to come and work for you. And you know, today more than ever, people tend to want to work not just for the money, but for a whole variety of aspects. And having said that, it goes further, because if we can help to work with schools to improve the life chances of, in our case particularly, 16 to 20-year-olds into work, getting good jobs from local schools, that makes sense for everybody. And we've done quite a few specific things for that. Okay, 2013 we started the Meech Centenary Trust Fund, which is operated through OCF. Mm-hmm. And as a shareholder thing, we fund that. Naturally encourage our staff to also work within that sphere. The key aim of that trust is 16 to 18-year-olds back to work or into work. These 16 to 18-year-olds, they can't get places to live, they can't get a job, therefore. So I still don't understand why this gap still exists. You know, our interest is 16 to 20-year-olds into work and so on. And we do that through this funding charities predominantly, or we try to do in West Oxfordshire, to which we did start, and Ian Cameron, a colleague of mine, we started the West Oxfordshire Business Partnership, which is a specific operation linking local companies, schools, colleges together to try to make a more formalized interaction. Hopefully after post-COVID that will be resurrected. One particular staff member is an enterprise advisor at Henry Box School in Witney. So we're trying to, again, link schools. And schools are, you know, they're open to the idea, but the trouble is they don't have any money and they don't have any time. And it's something I feel quite strongly about, that schools really need to invest much more in planning the future, or helping to plan the future prospects of their students, very much as early as 13. So careers advice is hugely important, and we see it as very important to try to energize, get people to come in and see what we do, get excited by manufacturing, by science and technology. Manufacturing and making things is incredibly exciting.
Careers advice, as you say, it shouldn't just wait till 16. It does need to almost start a bit earlier, or at least introducing ideas to them. How's COVID actually affected your business?
We obviously had to implement social distancing, which cut our production area quite substantially. Most of the others, almost all the others, were working from home. So I think we had, for the first few weeks, probably 2 or 3 people in the office, but we had 60 to 80% of our production, because all we did was move our production into our meeting rooms and everywhere else. So that worked quite well. By the end of June, we had everybody back from furlough, nearly full production capacity. Believe that we will see flexible working becoming probably the norm. We still want to make sure that they come into the office and have the team quarters, the chat over the coffee machine and so on. And so we're trying to get back everybody at least one day a week on a rotating basis. The most stressful thing is trying to make decisions in absence of any precedent. Is this fair to everybody? Is this unfair? I mean, it's been for us, it's been that's the serious challenge. The actual bit of running the daily business has seemed rather straightforward. The other point I wanted to make was that in the March to June period, it was like we had a very clear enemy, and that was COVID-19. And it was incredible to see how people found solutions to problems that had been hitherto insoluble. The can-do mentality was actually really quite exciting. What we found over the last 3 or 4 weeks, when we're back in this kind of new normal, is that it's depressingly horrible, because you can't plan, there's no certainty, you can go out but you can't go out, you can do this but you can't do that. So we've kind of won the battle, but we're now in this sort of no man's land of, well, what happens next, guys? The most important thing, though, is for us is we've had to make sure that we are talking to all the staff who are not here, or indeed making sure that they have throughout this period been okay, because some people are working from very small flats with children and so on. So that's been our biggest challenge, really, is to ensure that the mental health and health of our staff